Let's take it back, way back. Picture Harlem in the 1920s. Jazz pouring out of every window, poets and painters turning sidewalks into stages, and everyone hungry to make their mark on history. This was the Harlem Renaissance. But behind the art, the parties, and the big ideas, there were real people. Folks falling in and out of love, keeping secrets, and sometimes risking it all. One of those secrets? A love affair so hush-hush, it's barely whispered about in the history books. I'm talking about Jessie Redmon Fauset and W.E.B. Du Bois, two Black intellectual giants whose passion didn't just light up the page, but almost set Harlem on fire. Jessie Redmon Fauset was a woman ahead of her time, brilliant, proud, and determined. She was a writer, poet, editor, and one of the few Black women at the center of the Harlem Renaissance. She edited the Crisis magazine, opening doors for the likes of Langston Hughes and Countee Cullen. Her pen was sharp, her standards high, and her heart, well, that's where W.E.B. Du Bois comes in. W.E.B. Du Bois was already legendary, a co-founder of the NAACP, a brilliant scholar, and yes, married. But his passion for justice and literature brought him to Jessie's door, again and again. Their connection was instant, magnetic, first in ideas, then in something deeper. Their letters were full of witty banter and deep admiration. Jessie would write, "Dr. Du Bois, if only the world could see itself through your eyes, perhaps it would be a kinder place." Du Bois would reply, "Miss Fauset, your talent is extraordinary. Your words inspire not just me, but a generation." They worked late into the night at the Crisis, exchanging ideas and meaningful glances. They walked through Harlem, laughing at jokes only they seemed to share. Some said it was just friendship. Others weren't so sure. It started innocent enough. Long work hours, letters back and forth. Then there were the glances, those lingering, unspoken, "do you feel what I feel" moments. Jessie, always cautious, kept her feelings hidden behind sharp wit and professionalism. Du Bois, older and married, tried to keep it respectful. But passion, especially the kind that blooms in secret, has a way of breaking through. One evening, after an especially heated debate about an article, they were left alone in the office. The city glowed through the window, and the air was thick with things unsaid. Du Bois cleared his throat. "Jessie, do you ever wonder if all this fighting for the future leaves room for anything else?" Jessie smiled, a little sadly. "Sometimes, but history doesn't wait for love, Dr. Du Bois." He stepped closer. Maybe it should. There was a gentle tension, a closeness. They almost touched hands, but Jessie pulled away, shaking her head. Jessie knew the risks. Harlem was a small town disguised as a big city, and people watched, especially when it came to a married man and a fiercely independent woman. Still, the connection deepened. More letters, more late nights, more secrets. They found private moments, a letter left in a desk drawer, a walk home after a meeting, a look that said, "I see you, I choose you, even if only for tonight." Of course, real life isn't a romance novel. There was guilt, regret, the knowledge that their love couldn't be fully claimed, not without hurting others, or risking everything they built in Harlem. They kept their affair tightly guarded, trusting only each other and a few close confidants. But the city has a way of uncovering secrets. It wasn't long before the rumors started. Some said they'd seen Jessie slip out of Du Bois's office late at night. Others swore Du Bois wrote poetry for her alone. Jessie, who prided herself on her dignity, was furious when whispers threatened her career, but she didn't back down. Instead, she doubled down, working harder, editing bolder, writing some of her most passionate essays. If loving our people means breaking the rules, then I'll be a rule breaker. And if loving, well, that's my business. Du Bois defended Jessie at meetings, shutting down snide remarks from jealous colleagues. For a while, the two tried to pull away from each other, focus on work, focus on family. But Harlem nights are long and love is stubborn. Inevitably, they were drawn back together, two souls out of place in a world not yet ready for their kind of love. One rainy evening, Jessie found Du Bois waiting for her outside the office, umbrella in hand. He simply said, "I can't stop thinking about you." Jessie laughed. "You're supposed to be a genius, Dr. Du Bois. Can't you outthink your own heart?" He shrugged. "I've solved harder problems, none quite like you." They walked home together, sharing the umbrella, talking about everything and nothing. There was a soft intimacy, the comfort of being truly seen. As the years went on, their love never became public, never fully acknowledged, never scandalized the newspapers the way it might have if they'd been less careful or less dedicated to their causes. But in their letters, their work, and their stolen moments, it burned brightly. Jessie published a new novel. Du Bois wrote a glowing review, subtly referencing the power of a woman's heart and mind. The Harlem Renaissance thrived under their guidance. Maybe their love made the art a little bolder, the politics a little fiercer. Maybe not. But what's certain is this. Behind the scenes of history, in the margins of every manuscript, and between the lines of every editorial, Jessie and Du Bois were partners in every sense. Years later, Jessie and Du Bois met at a crowded event. There was a warmth in their greeting, a familiarity that never faded. They'd both moved on in their ways, Jessie to more writing and teaching, Du Bois to more activism and travel. But the connection? It lingered. Sometimes that's all love can do. Show up, shape you, and then live quietly in the background. A secret thread woven through everything you become. The world may never know all the secrets Harlem kept, but those who were there felt the heat. Jessie Redmon Fauset and W.E.B. Du Bois may never have had the freedom to shout their love from the rooftops, but their passion, like their work, changed the world. Maybe that's the real legacy of a forbidden love. It's risky, it's reckless, but sometimes it's exactly what history needs. So the next time you see an old photo from the Harlem Renaissance, look a little closer. Maybe you'll spot Jessie's knowing smile or the way Du Bois leans just a little bit closer than necessary. Some stories never make the headlines, but they light the fire for generations to come.